Listening to Frank Sinatra, the United States of America versus Francis Albert Sinatra and the Italian Mafia. Francis Albert Sinatra. Born to Italian immigrants, Martin and Natalie Dolly Sinatra, on December 12, 1915, in Hoboken, New Jersey, Francis Albert Sinatra was an only child. His father was a former boxer and dock worker, and his mother a midwife. Growing up in this vibrant city across the Hudson River from Manhattan, Sinatra's early years were shaped by the working-class neighborhood, Hoboken's rich cultural tapestry of German, Irish, and Italian immigrants. Its bustling music scene played a crucial role in nurturing Frank's passion for singing. He first performed at places like the Cat's Meow and the Rustic Canyon with the Harry James Band before joining the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra. Sinatra was arrested twice in 1938 in Bergen County, New Jersey. The first arrest was for seduction, a charge related to his relationship with an unmarried woman. The second arrest was for adultery when it was discovered the woman was married. Both charges were eventually dropped. He would wed Nancy Barbado and have his first child in Hoboken before skyrocketing to fame in the 1940s. Frank and Tommy. In January 1940, Frank Sinatra joined Tommy Dorsey's band, catapulting him to national fame. Dorsey's orchestra, a leading big band of the era, provided Sinatra with the perfect platform to showcase his vocal talents. Sinatra credited Dorsey with refining his vocal technique. Together, they produced numerous hits, including I'll Never Smile Again and Night and Day, thus solidifying Sinatra's status as a leading vocalist. Their relationship was complex. Dorsey, a strict band leader, mentored Sinatra, but conflicts arose, particularly over financial arrangements. Sinatra's contract included a clause giving Dorsey a significant portion of his future earnings, leading to friction as Sinatra's solo career took off. By late 1942, Sinatra decided to leave Dorsey's band. The process was contentious and where rumors of Frank Sinatra's Mafia ties first surfaced publicly. It said Moretti, Sinatra's godfather, helped Sinatra get out of the contract with Dorsey, with a gun and an understanding. Testimony in later hearings would say otherwise. Sinatra, when asked about Moretti, said he vaguely remembered him. But who was Moretti? Willie Moretti, born Guarino Moretti on February 24, 1894, in Bari, Italy, was a notable mobster in early to mid-20th century America. Immigrating as a child to New Jersey, he rose within the Genovese crime family, engaging in bootlegging, gambling, and racketeering, especially during Prohibition. Known for his association with Frank Costello and aiding Frank Sinatra's career, Moretti gained significant influence in the underworld of New York and New Jersey. His candid testimony during the U.S. Senate's Keefauver hearings in 1950, which aimed to expose organized crime, made him a liability to his peers. This led to his assassination on October 4, 1951, ordered by fellow mobsters who saw him as a threat to their secrecy. Frank and Lucky. The relationship between Lucky Luciano and Frank Sinatra has long been a topic of fascination, surrounded by a mixture of fact and speculation. New York columnist Robert Ruark penned an article highlighting Frank Sinatra's visit to Lucky Luciano in Havana, which contributed to widespread media attention linking Sinatra to organized crime. This attention stemmed from Sinatra's trips to Havana in late 1946 and early 1947, where he performed at events organized by Luciano. The subsequent media coverage, including Ruark's article, led to mounting pressure from the U.S. government on Cuba to expel Luciano, which culminated in his deportation in February 1947. In the book Havana Nocturne, T.J. English details a notorious party involving Frank Sinatra and Lucky Luciano in Havana. According to Hotel Nacional management, Sinatra and Luciano participated in an orgy with women flown in by the Fischetti Bros. Supposedly, the party was interrupted by an unexpected visit from a nun and some Girl Scouts who had gone to give Sinatra an award. They managed to get through security directly to room. The party attendees scurried and hid, but were exposed when a closet door opened and a couple folks fell on the ground. The Keefauver Committee. The Keefauver Committee, officially known as the Special Committee on Organized Crime and Interstate Commerce, was established in 1950 following a push from the American Municipal Association to combat organized crime. Initiated by Senator Estes Keefauver, the committee's investigations spanned 15 months, visiting 14 major U.S. cities and interviewing hundreds of witnesses. The hearings were televised, attracting an audience of 30 million Americans and making the committee a household name. The investigation revealed widespread corruption and criminal activity, implicating politicians and law enforcement officials, and resulting in political downfalls for many, including Illinois Senate Majority Leader Scott Lucas. Other key witnesses in the hearings included Frank Costello, Meyer Lansky, Virginia Hill, Will Moretti, Mickey Cohen, and Old Blue Eyes, Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra testified in the Keefauver hearings in June 1951. His appearance was part of the committee's broader efforts to investigate the connections between organized crime and prominent public figures, including entertainers. Sinatra was questioned about his relationships with various known mobsters, and the first time he was questioned about Willie Moretti in a hearing. During his testimony, Sinatra downplayed his associations with known criminals, describing them as casual acquaintances rather than close relationships. He portrayed himself as a victim of circumstance, emphasizing that he had no involvement in illegal activities. Sinatra's testimony was widely covered by the media, reflecting the public's fascination with the intersection of Hollywood glamour and the underworld. His appearance highlighted the reach of the Keefauver hearings into various facets of American society. Despite the negative attention, Sinatra managed to continue his career successfully. However, the hearings did underscore the extent of his connections to organized crime figures, which remained a topic of speculation and interest throughout his life. Overall, Sinatra's testimony in the Keefauver hearings illustrated the pervasive influence of organized crime and the complex relationships between mob figures and high-profile entertainers in mid-20th century America. Although its legislative impact was limited, the Keefauver Committee significantly raised public awareness of organized crime and showcased the power of television in political inquiries. The McClellan hearings. In 1963, the Senate held hearings on organized crime, led by Senator John McClellan. The extensive influence of the Mafia in American society was once again put in the spotlight. Testimonies, notably from mobster Joseph Valachi, Teamster President Jimmy Hoffa, and Frank Sinatra, provided some memorable highlights to the nationally televised hearings. The McClellan Committee was Frank Sinatra's second round of questioning, focusing on his alleged connections to the mob. Sinatra denied any involvement with organized crime, emphasizing his focus on his entertainment career. His appearance attracted significant media attention yet again. Chaired by Senator John McClellan, the hearings featured key testimony from Joseph Valachi, a former mobster who became an informant. Valachi's detailed revelations about the inner workings, rituals, and structure of the Mafia, including the notorious Cosa Nostra, brought unprecedented public attention to the criminal organization's pervasive influence. Jimmy Hoffa's testimony at the McClellan hearings focused on his leadership of the Teamsters Union and allegations of corruption. Hoffa's defiant stance highlighted his contentious relationship with federal investigators. Jimmy Hoffa disappeared on July 30, 1975, and is widely believed to have been murdered by the Mafia. Despite extensive investigations, including numerous theories and confessions from mobsters, his exact fate and the location of his remains remain a mystery. The McClellan Committee uncovered extensive corruption and criminal activity within labor unions, particularly the Teamsters. This catalyzed significant legislative measures and law enforcement strategies aimed at dismantling organized crime networks, profoundly impacting the United States' approach to combating such illegal activities. Nevada Gaming Commission. Frank Sinatra's 1981 testimony before the Nevada Gaming Commission marked a pivotal moment in the legendary entertainer's career, as he sought to regain his casino license after its revocation due to alleged associations with organized crime figures, including Chicago mobster Sam G. Encana.
Did you knowingly, and in other words, know for a certainty, that some of the people you might be associating with or might be brought back to meet you or that you might see in the cafes or where you were working were members or associates of those people in organized crime?
Again, it was a matter of conjecture on somebody's part, what I read in newspapers and then saw faces and then began to meet these people. But I never had anything to do with them business-wise, rarely socially. No connection really whatsoever.
Sinatra used the hearing to highlight his significant financial contributions to Nevada's economy, specifically through his influence on the Las Vegas entertainment scene. As a headliner at major venues such as the Sands and Caesars Palace, Sinatra drew massive crowds and elevated Las Vegas to an international destination. His performances with the Rat Pack, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Joey Bishop, and Peter Lawford, became iconic, driving tourism and casino revenues to unprecedented levels. Sinatra's ability to attract other high-profile entertainers further boosted the city's appeal. By emphasizing these contributions and defending his integrity, Sinatra ultimately convinced the commission to restore his license, allowing him to continue shaping Las Vegas's entertainment legacy. Sinatra's life was a blend of unparalleled artistry and relentless scrutiny. While his voice and charisma captivated millions, his alleged ties to organized crime brought decades of investigation and controversy. Yet despite countless hearings, scandals, and public speculation, Sinatra stood firm in defending his name and reputation. In the end, Sinatra's legacy isn't defined by accusations. It's defined by his music, his influence, and his refusal to be anything less than legendary. Sinatra, as always, did it his way.